Students, we are living a sophisticated world. We are living in a modern era. In this modern world, we all are depends upon electrical instruments. In our day-to-day life, in our technologies, everything depends upon electricity. Without electricity, we can't imagine our life. In this way, our life is going on. Day-to-day life, we use AC, refrigerator, fans, everything depends upon electricity. Likewise, our technologies, our textile industry, like any industry which depends upon electricity. Without electricity, there is no improvement. How the electricity was produced? In this class, we are going to discuss about an AC generator which produces electrical energy, which is not used to produce electrical energy, really which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. This is a device which was designed by Nikola Tesla. Its principle is electromagnetic induction. That means by changing the magnetic flux linked with the coil, an EMF is induced. I think you know very well about electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction is the principle of this device, okay? Which converts what? Which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So which provides electrical energy. We can save this electrical energy and we can make use of it depending upon their needs. Okay, good. So what is the principle? I told it. What it converts? I told it. What are the important parts of AC generator? There are 4 important parts of AC generator. First one is rotor. This is rotor. In this diagram, this rectangular coil acts as a rotor. Rotor means what? Rotor is nothing but, rotor means it is able to rotate, which is capable of rotation. That is called rotor. Here the rotor is nothing but, it is an armature. What is armature? Armature is nothing but a number of turns of insulated brushed copper wire wound over a metallic frame. Number of turns of insulated brushed copper wire means what? Which contains negligible resistance. So a number of turns of brushed copper wire wound over a metallic frame, okay, which is able to rotate. That is called rotor here. So the armature acts as a rotor because which is able to rotate. When we rotate, it easily rotates. So that is called rotor. That is one of the important part of the AC generator. Along the axis of the armature or rotor, there is a shaft is fixed. This dotted line represents nothing but which is called a shaft. SHAFT. This is shaft. The shaft is along the axis of the armature coil or rotor coil. When the rotor begins to rotate, the shaft also rotates. What is the purpose of fixing shaft along the axis of the armature? Here the shaft which connects a turbine. Here the shaft which connects what? Which connects a fan. That means which is able to rotate. Here one rigid support is there. With the help of the rigid support, there is one turbine. Yes, turbine. With the help of the rigid support, a turbine is fixed. This turbine is rotated by the help of any type of energy. For example, steam energy. In the nuclear power reactor, nuclear energy is used to boil the water in order to produce steam. That steam energy is used to rotate the turbine. This when the turbine rotates, here the shaft also rotates. The shaft along with the armature also rotates. Everything rotates here. So turbine, here the turbine, here the turbine, the shaft and the armature all are connected. So when the shaft rotates, the armature also rotates. In the end of the rotor, there are 2 ends. There are 2 ends here. Look at the diagram. There are 2 ends in the rotor coil. The two ends are kept fixed to the ring, kept fixed to the ring system. What is the purpose of fixing the two ends of the rotor coil to the ring? Before that, what is these two, N and S? N and S are nothing but these two are magnets, electromagnets, which provide strong radial electric field. Uniform radial electric field is provided by electromagnets here. Because these two are nothing but these two are iron pieces. These iron pieces are wound with a best copper. When the current is allowed to pass through this arrangement, it acts like an electromagnet. It acts not like an electromagnet, it acts electromagnet. So it provides a magnetic field, a strong magnetic field. From north to south, a strong magnetic field is provided by here, a strong electromagnet. Here electromagnet plays a vital role because the electromagnets only provide a strong uniform radial electric field. Okay. The third part, first one is rotor, second one is electromagnet, which is called a stator. Why they are called a stator? Because these are stationary here. In this arrangement, this is stationary. Any one is rotating, another one becomes stationary. Here, stator is stationary, rotor is rotating. Stator is electromagnet, rotor is armature coil. Otherwise, in some arrangement, here it acts like a stator and it acts like a rotor. That means the magnetic coils, the electromagnets are rotating and the armature coil is kept stationary in another arrangement. But in this arrangement, here the electromagnet acts like a stator, and the rotor is nothing but armature coil kept fixed in your mind. Okay, then next. The two ends of the armature coil or rotor coil is connected to a ring system. Why? Because this rotor coil is allowed to rotate in between the pole pieces of the electromagnet. When this is allowed to rotate, when this is allowed to rotate, an EMF is induced. Now we want to use that EMF in our houses. What can we do? Here one end acts like a positive and another end acts like a negative. Then we are taking a wire from these two ends. We are taking two wires from the two ends. But note that, the rotor coil is rotating. When the rotor coil is rotating, we are taking the wire from the two ends. Then the wire gets twisted and the wire breaks because of the twisting. Okay, so here we don't want to take two wires from the two ends directly. So a special arrangement is needed. What is the special arrangement here is nothing, that is a ring system. There are two rings are used here. One ring is connected to one end, like here. One ring is connected to one end. Another one ring is connected to another end of the rotor coil. So this ring is connected to this end, this ring is connected to this end. Look at the diagram. Here one end, here another end. So the two rings are connected. Okay, these rings also rotate when the rotor coil rotates, because which is connected to the shaft. So when the shaft rotates, when the turbine rotates, shaft rotates. When the shaft rotates, rotor coil rotates along with the rings. So the whole system rotates. Okay, that is most important, third part. What is the fourth part? The last one part is nothing but which is carbon brushes. Here carbon brushes are used for what purpose? To carry the current from the rotor coil to the external circuit. So in this diagram, this is the carbon brushes which are brushed above the rings with the help of with the help of springs. The springs are pressed. The springs are used to press the carbon brushes towards the rings. Because what is the purpose of using rings here? Rings are used to press the carbon electrodes or carbon brushes towards the rings. Because consider this is ring which is able to rotate. Okay, this is ring. Another one, I will take it. This is ring. This is able to rotate. This is what? Carbon brush. When the carbon brush is pressed with the help of springs, when the rings rotate, there is a contact between the ring and the carbon brush. If we can't connect with the help of springs, then it becomes loosely attached. When it rotates, there is no connection. So that is the purpose of connecting rings and the carbon brushes with the help of springs. Okay, the springs tightly pressed the rings and the carbon brushes. So when the rings rotates, even though the rings rotates, the carbon brushes are made in contact with the rings. Okay, good. The next what? The next is these carbon brushes which is in all time contact with the rings even though they are rotated. Okay, good. The next is what? The next another one is commutator. What is commutator means? The commutator is nothing but the collection of rings and the carbon brushes. The collection of rings and the carbon brushes are called a commutator. The meaning of commutator is to transferring. Here these two act as the commutator which transfers the electrons from the rotor coil to the external circuit. The transferring of electron takes place by the action of these two rings and the carbon brushes. So they are collectively called as commutator. Okay. So there are four main parts of AC generator. First one is rotor, second one is stator, third one is rings, fourth one is carbon brushes, another one is commutator which is nothing but carbon brushes and rings are collectively called as commutator. Okay. What is the working of AC generator? The working of AC generator is nothing. When the turbine rotates, for example, when the turbine rotates anti-clockwise, here the shaft also rotates anti-clockwise. So the coil, the rotor coil also rotates anti-clockwise. That means what? Consider this is rotor coil. It rotates anti-clockwise. That means this rotates anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means one end of the rotor coil going inward, another one coming outwards, pushing outwards. This end goes inwards, this end coming outwards because of the rotation. First half rotation. First consider the half rotation. Then this rotor coil becomes this position. So one end becomes downwards, another one becomes upwards. So what? There is one important thing here. When the rotor coil is allowed to half rotate, there is a change in the magnetic flux and EMF is induced in the coil. What is the direction of induced EMF? We can make use of Fleming's right hand rule. What is the motion of Fleming? What is the Fleming's right hand rule represents? Fleming's right hand rule here. This is magnetic field. This is motion of the coil. This is induced current. We know very well. Here we use like this manner because the magnetic field is acting here. The magnetic field is acting here. The motion of the coil is downwards. The motion of the coil is downwards. So the induced current is here downwards. Okay. Just I repeat another one time. Listen carefully. Here the magnetic field is, for example, towards right. The motion of the coil is inwards, not downwards. The motion of the coil is inwards. Then the direction of current is downwards. So in the arm, for example, in the arm, this is A. In the arm A, the current is going downwards. So in the arm B, the current is moving upwards. Look at the diagram. According to Fleming's right hand rule, in the arm A, the current is moving downward. In the arm B, the current is moving upward. Okay, good. What we infer from this? The current coming from the arm A, so this is taken as positive terminal and this is taken as negative terminal. So because the direction of current is from A going to rings and then carbon brushes, because carbon brushes are all time in contact with the brushes, the carbon brushes are all time in contact with the rings even though the rings are rotating. Okay, then the current passes from A and goes to B. This is the route of current in the first half rotation. This is the route map of the current in the first half rotation. Okay, first half rotation. Okay, what is the next half rotation? First, the coil is initial position. This is the initial position of the coil. First half rotation, anti-clockwise, the coil turns to this side. And another one half rotation, the coil rotates like this. That means now the coil B is moving down. Now the coil B is not the coil. Now the arm B is moving down, and the arm A is moving up. Because this is B. A is moving up and B is moving down, which is exactly opposite to the case earlier case. So what happens? Now we use the Fleming right hand rule once again. Now the rule says what? A current coming from the arm B and it goes to the arm A. So the polarity changes. This becomes positive and this becomes negative. So the polarity of the current changes for every half rotation of the coil, because this is the matter. So the current comes from arm B and goes to the arm B after the half rotation, the second half rotation. What is the further half rotation? Next half rotation, what happens? Next half rotation, the current comes from A and goes to B. Another one half rotation, the current comes from B goes to A. So A to B, B to A, A to B, B to A. We are rotating the coil in the anti-clockwise rotation only. We are not rotating anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. We are not rotating like that. We are rotating only in the anti-clockwise direction. But according to Fleming right hand rule, the polarity of the current changes its nature for every half rotation. That is one of the most important point, because the polarity keep on changing for every half rotation. That current is called as alternating current. Then that's why this generator is named as AC generator, alternating current generator. That is the working. So when the coil rotates continuously like anti-clockwise direction, the current will produce, but the polarity of the current keep on changing for every half rotation. So that current is called as alternating current. Here the current is induced because of the electromagnetic induction. That is the principle of the AC generator. What is the nature of the current produced here? Which is nothing but the nature is alternating. For example, first half rotation, the shape of the current is like this. The next half rotation, this. The next half rotation, the next half rotation. We are taking time in the x-axis and voltage, EMF in the y-axis. Then we get these shape of waves. These waves are nothing but sinusoidal waves. So a sinusoidal time varying alternating current will be induced by the generator. That is called AC generator. I hope all of you understood this question very well. I hope. Okay, next we will see a new topic in the next class. Till that, bye students. Thank you.